Good morning. My name is Ahmed Badreg Al-Amoudi. I'm an assistant professor and consultant general and colorectal laparoscopic surgeon from the Department of Surgery at Al-Qura University. Today we'll be talking about the role of ethics in medical research. Why is this an important issue? Well, we know from today's current practice in medicine, the research is very important. Everything we do has to be based on evidence. Hence, evidence-based medicine, where all practices have to be validated by good quality research. Moreover, there is increased societal pressure to create new medicines, new instruments, to improve treatments and improve the quality of care of our patients. And in medical research, there's also gains to be had. There are financial gains, there are political gains, and there are scientific gains. And therefore, this may create a conflict of interest. In conducting research, one has to address the balance between the welfare of patients, who are the subject of our research, as well as progressing with the science, advancement in science. So what is ethics? Well, ethos is a Greek word that indicates a set of moral principles. And in medical practice, it is the moral principle guiding contact in a group of medical practitioners. And one of the oldest ethical statements was issued by Hippocrates back in 450 BC, when within the Hippocratical oath, one has to say, do no harm. But in our Islamic traditions and values, ethics is ingrained in our behavior. يقول الله سبحانه وتعالى: يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد. ويقول الله سبحانه وتعالى: إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر. ويقول رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم: لا إيمان لمن لا أمانة له ولا دين لمن لا عهد له. But medical ethics has not been ingrained into law till quite recently. The first step to do so was within the Nuremberg Code back in 1947. And this followed the Nuremberg trials, in which a group of medics, Zionist medics, and scientists were tried for gross violation of human rights. So within the Nuremberg Code, two important aspects were put into law: human right and the welfare of subjects. But as science progressed, we move into the 60s. A declaration in Helsinki back in 1964 put forward two additional aspects, and that is the importance of informed consent and the setup of ethical committees or review boards. However, further violations in the States by a group of researchers conducting research on mentally handicapped children, and as well as a group in the population who were disadvantaged, involving the research of syphilis, led to the issue of the Belmont report. And the Belmont report emphasizes three aspects: respect for subjects, beneficence, and justice. And within the respect of subjects, one has to ensure the application of dignity and confidentiality. One has to also obtain informed consent. And for consent to be informed, information regarding research has to be put forward, pertaining the purpose of the research, the benefits, the risks, the methods, and the duration. One has to also ensure that patients understand what is being said to them. Hence the second point, which is comprehension. And this has to be done within the context of voluntariness, meaning that patients must not be coerced into being involved into research. So this is the first point within the Belmont report. And so the second point within the Belmont report is ensuring beneficence. And within beneficence, one has to ensure maximizing the benefits to our patient subjects and minimizing the risks. Benefits and risks not only to the patients themselves, but to society. The third point is justice. And that's really ensuring that the burden and the benefits are equally distributed within the subjects of the research. One has to ensure that there is no discrimination according to race, gender, religion, social status, or to vulnerable patients. Vulnerable patients or vulnerable subjects are many in our society. Women, mothers and their fetuses, children, elderly people, mentally disabled or mentally handicapped, unconscious patients, subjects who are institutionalized, such as prisoners, those who are poor or illiterate and may not be able to fully understand the research they are being involved in. And therefore, every proposal has to pass by an ethical committee. The ethical committee looks into all aspects we discussed above, looking at the research itself, whether its importance, its validity, its design. We'll be looking at the issues of consent. They'll be assessing the risks and the benefits, and they'll be looking at how the subjects of the research are being selected. Every research proposal ends up having an IRB code, an Institutional Review Board code. And that's a number that we often see attached to all research. What type of research should be included or should be reviewed by the ethical committees? Well, all research involving human subjects, especially if there are material to be collected, surveys to be had, or secondary data analysis to be conducted. What is the research that is not reviewed by the ethical committee? Well, those are mainly observational studies, quality assurances. So if we were to see admission rates, discharge rates, mortality rates, these are information that is put forward in the public domain and may not necessarily require an ethical approval by the review board. International clinical trials pose a special challenge, and for that, a set of rules have been issued to ensure that vulnerable societies within developing countries are not being abused. So in conclusion, research is a privilege, it's not a right. The well-being of participants is a priority. Ethical code involves 3 main principles: respect for persons, beneficence, and justice. Thank you.